Hi, this is Makola Spokane, the leader and the founder of the Young Men Empowerment Forum. I'm dealing with part 5 today of this great topic, how to become a great leader. How to become a great leader. I wish that this is a dream of every young man who's listening to me right now. That you want to be a great leader. You want to be an impactful individual. You want to be somebody who brings change in this life. You want to be an innovative somebody. You want to be somebody who is a creator and somebody who's a discoverer in life. That's great leaders in life. And believe me, you're born for that sake. You're born for that purpose. Because every purpose that God has put upon us in our lives is not a small purpose. Every vision that God has planted in us is not a small vision. So in other words, you are not small. You may treat yourself as small, but I want to urge you today to understand that you're greater than you think. So therefore, come out of your comfort zone as a young man and become a great leader that God has intended you to be. Rise and shine and become the great leader that God has prepared you to be. You can be, you've got the potential, you've got the vision, you've got the purpose. Therefore, you are able to do that. It is possible for you to become a great leader that you want you to be. So please dream about it and plan about it and therefore implement it, and you'll see that you will be the great leader that you are. But you're going to need the drive inside of you to become a great leader. Now, I want you to also look at this, that if you want to become a great leader, you must care about everyone in your team. So in other words, if there are people around you, whether it's in church, whether it's colleagues at work, it might be your own family. But remember that if you care about everyone, you don't segregate people, you don't actually undermine others while you elevate others, you don't actually choose people according to their color, you don't look at people according to their level of education, you actually care about everyone. Because remember that everyone in your team has got the potential of becoming great. Because great leadership is somebody who's able to exhume actual potential out of other people and exhume the greatest potential that they have and make them to become better. Now, everyone in your team should be treated the same way. Everyone in your team should be looked up upon. So you must never undermine anyone in your team. You must care about everyone. And when you care about everyone in your team, let everyone be aware that you care about them. It's not only lip service, but it must be also followed by actions that you care about them. And when you care about everyone, you're actually motivating them to become the better version of themselves. And people that are well looked after, people that are cared for, they are actually having a potential of rising even more higher and becoming even more better. And I want to emphasize this, that as a young man, remember that if you want to become a great leader, you must be able to care for people. Now, start with your own family. Start where you are. Brothers and sisters, start with your cousins around you, the people around you. Learn to love people. Learn to deal with people. Learn not to be segregatory in nature. Learn not to approach people and treat them in disdain. So treat everyone in respect and honor everyone based on the respect that they deserve. Because everyone, remember, is a child of God created in the image of God. So in other words, every human being should be equal in your eyes. And as a young man, if you want to become a great leader, so therefore, look at everyone to be equal. Actually, love everyone. Take care of everyone, because everybody is equal before the eyes of God. So let them be equal before your eyes as well. That is actually setting you up to become a great leader. Secondly, empower your team, please. I've said in the past that you must be ready to learn yourself. You must be ready to empower yourself. But it's very key that when you have empowered yourself, empower your team. Now, empowering the team is starting or is actually stemming from a heart of wanting to develop others. Is stemming from a desire to make others better. Is stemming from wanting to see people progressive in their lives. Now, I want to urge you as a young man that you should actually understand that in order to become a great leader, you need to empower others. Now, empowerment of others could be just that you're patting them on the back and encouraging them to do better. It could be because you're able to appreciate them and praise them when they are successful. Now, when you give a Jew or respect to where respect is due, when you give honor to where honor is, when you give credit to where credit is, people that have been credited when they've done well, people that are being encouraged when they've done something good and applauded for good work done, they are able to even outdo themselves and do even much more better tomorrow. Now that's development of great leadership. And I want to emphasize that it is up to you to develop great leaders by encouraging the people, by empowering your team. But empowering your team, remember, could come along with teaching them some skills in life, teaching them some principles of life, an approach of life as well, teaching them. Take time to teach your people. Take time to teach your team. Take time to support them because they may not learn at the same pace as well. People are not the same. There are those that as you empower them, they may not be reaching the level where they are learning as fast as others. They are not actually learning at the speed that others are learning. So please don't be impatient. Empower them equally. Make sure that you invest the time to empower them. Make sure that you invest the time to help them and make sure that they get at the same level where you want them to be. That's very important. But it must be a decision of you as a leader. As a young man, please remember that your teams need to be empowered. But I want to also mention that teams that are empowered become beneficiary for you. They help you because they will carry the load off your shoulders. They will be able to do work that you were doing all along, and they can be able to do duties that were burdening you in your life. So therefore, empowering people also becomes beneficiary for you, but also while it develops them, it makes them to become better people. Now remember that great leadership is that which people are able to look up to you and say, that is the man or this is the woman that have taught me and that has brought me to where I am. That is the man that has developed me to where I am right now. That is the man that has developed me to become who I am right now. And that's the credit that you'll take later when you have taken time to empower your teams. Empowering your teams may be just also to expose them to the roles practically of leadership, whereby you allow them opportunity to act as leaders practically, where you allocate them some tasks that you normally do for them to practice them, for them to do them. Allow them to lead others as well. Allow them to supervise others as well and have platform to lead others. If the team is big, so allow them to lead some small teams where you will break the team into smaller teams that you allocate others or these potential leaders to lead small teams so that they can empower them, can be empowered to lead in a bigger scale as well. So empowerment goes with practical work as well. And that's very key. And I want to emphasize that you cannot say you empower people if you teach them but not allow them space to practice that which they're taught. If you don't allow them space to develop and do that which they are doing better. So I want to urge you as a young man that you understand that empowerment goes along with opportunities that you provide for the people. Opportunities that you set them up and give them opportunities and let them be able to do things the way they're supposed to be doing. Because that's the only way people are going to learn, when you give them space to practice, make mistakes, and learn from their mistakes. That's very key. But I want to close by saying, as a young man, if you want to become a great leader, practice empathy. Please be empathetic. Practice empathy. And I've said that there's no leadership that emanate in the hollow, that emanate from the space. Leadership comes from being amongst the people, because the leadership is leading people. Now, if you are going to lead the people, so therefore you need to be empathetic about them. You need to be having empathy towards them. Because people are going through rough times. People are going through difficulties. Be able to put yourself in their shoes and be empathetic at all times. I'm emphasizing this because it's very key for great leaders. Great leaders are actually judged by how much empathy they have towards their followers. how much empathy they have towards their subordinates. So if you are not empathetic enough, then you cannot deal with people, because people are going through rough times, as I've said. They're going through pains. They're going through rough roads and difficulties. So therefore, they need somebody who's a leader to become empathetic towards them. And also to do so is to teach them as well to become empathetic towards other people that they will be leading as well. That is part of development as well. You're developing people by becoming empathetic towards them, and they will have empathy as well towards others. And people will actually get better by so doing. And your leadership will be very impactful by so doing. I want to end up here today. Your host, Mike Connors Bongani, the leader and the founder of Young Men Empowerment Forum. Thank you very much for listening to us in this great topic that unfolds and that actually checks out on this particular topic. We'll continue with other topics going forward. And I want to urge you to join us as we continue with other topics going forward. And may the good Lord bless you. And cheers for now.